Welcome back to Apex Sci-Fi. When we imagine intergalactic competitions, we think of the Hunger Games or Tron. We imagine deadly discs, laser swords, and trials of supreme intellect. But what if the aliens don't value finesse? What if they value fortitude? And what if, by sheer misunderstanding, humanity decides to send a team of athletes not from the Olympics, but from a backyard barbecue in Florida? Today's story is about the Galactic Games of Zarthon. The aliens challenged Earth to a duel of bravery. They expected samurai. They expected soldiers. Instead, they got Chad, Kyle, and a rusted shopping cart. This is the story of how a simple phrase, "Hold my beer," became the most feared battle cry in the galaxy. If you have ever done something incredibly stupid just because your friends were watching, smash that like button. You are a warrior of Earth. And if you want to see an alien try to understand the physics of a belly flop, subscribe and turn on notifications. Safety third. Let's go. The Grand Arena of Zarthon Prime was a masterpiece of engineering. It was a floating ring structure orbiting a neutron star, capable of seating 5 billion spectators from 1,000 different species. The Zarthonians were a warrior race, obsessed with honor, durability, and the ability to withstand pain. Every 10 cycles, they invited new species to compete in the trial of the Iron Soul. High Arbiter Zal stood at the podium. He was 7 feet tall, covered in obsidian scales, and wore a cape made of laser weave. Citizens of the galaxy. Zal bellowed, his voice amplified across the stadium. Today we welcome the newcomers from the Sol system. The humans. The crowd roared politely. They claim to be a hardy species, Zal continued. They claim to live on a death world with high gravity and toxic plants. But today they must prove their worth against the champions of Zarthon. Let the first event begin, the charge of the beast. The Zarthonian champion, a hulking behemoth named Grork, stepped into the arena. He was riding a grav beast, a genetically engineered rhino with cybernetic armor. It was terrifying. The human team entered. They were not wearing power armor. They were not wearing uniforms. There were 3 of them. Chad, wearing board shorts and a tank top. Kyle, wearing jeans and no shirt. And Dave, who was wearing a helmet made of a watermelon and duct tape. They were dragging a vehicle behind them. It was a wire basket on 4 wobbly wheels. A shopping cart. It had a rusted bumper sticker on the back that said, "I brake for N01." Zal leaned down from his viewing box. "Human representative," he addressed the Earth diplomat, Sarah. "What is that device? Is it a kinetic weapon?" "It's a conveyance," Sarah sighed, hiding her face in her hands. "Just watch." The event began. Grork roared and charged his grav beast. The ground shook. On the human side, Chad looked at Dave. "You ready, bro?" Chad asked. "I was born ready," Dave muffled through the watermelon. Chad turned to Kyle. He held out a red aluminum can. "Hold my beer," Chad said. The Zarthonian translators analyzed the phrase. Translation: ritual invocation. The warrior is sacrificing his sacred fluid to the gods of chaos to gain invincibility. Kyle took the beer. Dave climbed into the shopping cart. He curled into a ball. Chad grabbed the handle. He didn't charge the beast. He ran towards a wooden ramp they had set up in the middle of the arena. "Send it!" Chad screamed. He pushed the cart with hysterical strength. The wobbly wheel fluttered violently, wub 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 wub. At the last second, Chad let go. The cart hit the ramp. It launched into the air. Grork, the alien champion, looked up. He calculated trajectories. He calculated mass. "It is a projectile," Grork concluded. "I shall block it." He raised his energy shield. But a shopping cart is not an aerodynamic missile. It is a chaotic cage of wire. It tumbled in the air. Dave, inside the cart, screamed a war cry, "Wilo!" The cart struck Grork's helmet. Crash. The impact wasn't lethal, but it was confusing. The wire mesh tangled with Grork's horns. The cart flipped over the beast, dragging the alien champion off his saddle. Grork fell into the dirt. The cart crashed, rolled 3 times, and came to a stop upside down. Silence filled the arena. Then Dave crawled out. He was dizzy. His watermelon helmet was cracked. He had a scrape on his elbow. He stood up and threw his hands in the air. "I'm okay," Dave yelled. The humans in the audience cheered. Zal was baffled. The human? He launched himself without a guidance system? He accepted the crash? What tactical advantage does this provide? "It's not about advantage, High Arbiter," Sarah explained wearily. "It's about the send." Event 2. Zal announced, trying to regain control. The leap of faith. A jump from the Tower of Agony into the pool of acid. Note, The acid was a mild irritant, equivalent to lemon juice, used to test pain tolerance. The Zarthonian competitor climbed the 50-meter tower. He activated his grav boots to ensure a perfect, pencil-straight entry to minimize splash and damage. He executed a flawless dive. 10 out of 10. Then it was Kyle's turn. Kyle climbed the tower. He stood on the edge. He looked down at the green liquid. He looked at the camera. Cannonball. Kyle shouted. He jumped. But he didn't dive. He curled his body into a ball. He is compromising his hydrodynamics. Zal shouted. He will impact with maximum surface area. The force will rupture his internal organs. Kyle hit the water. Smack. A massive splash soaked the front row of alien dignitaries. Kyle surfaced. His chest and stomach were bright red from the impact. He was wheezing. He looked like he was in immense pain. But he was laughing. Did you guys see that splash? Kyle gasped, high-fiving the air. Zal turned to his medical officer. Scan him. Is he dying? High Arbiter. His dopamine levels are spiking. He is enjoying the pain. He perceives the red skin as a badge of honor. Masochists. Zal whispered. They are a race of masochists. Final event. Zal announced, his voice shaking. The gauntlet of spinning blades. The arena floor opened up. A complex obstacle course rose, filled with swinging axes, spinning logs, and pits of mud. The Zarthonian team spent 20 minutes analyzing the pattern of the blades. They used lasers to map the safest route. They moved slowly, carefully, dodging with mathematical precision. They finished in 15 minutes with 0 injuries. Then the humans stepped up. Chad looked at the course. Looks like Wipeout, Chad noted. Bet I can run it in under a minute, Dave said. Bet you 10 credits you can't, Kyle countered. Hold my beer. Dave took off running. He didn't time the blades. He didn't map the route. He just sprinted. A spinning log hit him in the chest. Thud. Dave flew backward, did a backflip, landed in the mud and kept running. Parkour. Dave screamed, jumping over a pit and missing. He slammed his shin against the edge. He hopped on one leg, cursing, then continued running. An axe swung at him. He ducked, slipped, and slid under the axe on his stomach like a penguin. He crossed the finish line in 45 seconds. He was covered in mud. He was bleeding from a cut on his brow. He was limping. New record. Dave yelled, pointing at the scoreboard. The Zarthonian judges gathered. They were trembling. High Arbiter, the head judge said. We cannot compete with this. The Zarthonians fight to survive. They fight to win. But these humans, they fight because they are bored. They have no fear of death, Zal observed. Look at the replay. When the log hit the human, he didn't recoil. He laughed. He tried to ride the log. They are unstable, the judge agreed. If we go to war with them, they will not use tactics. They will strap rockets to chairs and fly at us. They will launch themselves out of airlocks just to see if they can land on our ships. Zal stood up. He looked at the human team, who were currently trying to stack the plastic chairs into a tower to climb into the VIP box. I declare, humanity the victors. Zal shouted. Please take the trophy and leave. Go back to your death world. You are too chaotic for civilized space. The humans cheered. Chad grabbed the trophy, a golden sphere made of neutronium. Heavy, Chad grunted. Hey Kyle, bet you can't throw this over the shuttle. You're on. As the humans left, Sarah Jenkins apologized to the High Arbiter. I'm sorry, she said. They aren't our best warriors. They're just guys. That is what terrifies us, Zal whispered. If these are your civilians, what are your warriors like? Oh, Sarah smiled. Our warriors? They have rules. These guys? They just have insurance. From that day on, the Hold My Beer maneuver was added to the Galactic Military Codex. Definition: a human tactical declaration indicating an imminent, highly improbable and physically dangerous action undertaken for no strategic gain other than glory, or the lulls. Recommended response: retreat immediately and record the event from a safe distance. Humanity was never invaded. The aliens decided that a species crazy enough to use shopping carts as assault vehicles was best left alone. And somewhere in Florida, Kyle is still waiting for someone to challenge him to a rematch. This has been Apex Sci-Fi. We are told that courage is facing fear. But sometimes, courage is just a lack of understanding of physics. If you have ever survived a watch this moment, hit that like button. Comment below, what stupid human trick would you show aliens to scare them? Subscribe. And please wear a helmet. Stunt complete.